Oh, hey. How's it going, everybody? I have no idea what just happened there. Computer glitching out a little bit. Nice. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I was like, why is it just like full screen of my Final Fantasy XVI logo screen? Well, surprise. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I wasn't quite ready to do that, but here we are. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. Kind of out of sorts. Welcome, welcome. Happy, what is today? Thursday? Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. How's your week going? Who we got in the chat? What's up, Supportive? Welcome, welcome. Lady of the Rings, surprise. Welcome. Leon, is that a Scylla reference? Surprise, surprise? Was that it? I don't know. It's actually I don't know who sings that song. But it's like all over TikTok. Surprise, surprise. Do you know what I'm talking about? Y'all probably better than me. Yeah, you're not on TikTok. You're offering productive things to society instead of scanning Twitter and TikTok. Oh gosh, I forgot it was Thursday. I thought this was a day early. No. It's Thursday. We're just 10 minutes early, 5 minutes earlier than normal. Well, I hope you're doing well tonight. We're gonna have a good time tonight. And I'm gonna need your help tonight. Not just because of lectures. We've had some great lectures recently, some great discussions. I've been thinking about it. I was actually telling a colleague about some of the things that we were talking about on Tuesday night. And really neat stuff. But tonight, I need your help because we're going to the freaking desert. And y'all, I hate deserts. I hate them. I hate deserts in any video game. Since Mario Brothers 3, where you were in the desert and the giant angry sun would come down and attack you, I hate deserts. I hate them. Almost as much as I hate sewers. I hate sewers. Can you name a single sewer in a video game that was worth going to? Because I can't. Even in 7 Remake, I was like, oh, it's the freaking sewer level. I'm not on TikTok, but I know that reference last year. Yep, it is. The name of the singer is Scylla. Huh. Surprise, surprise. Just quote Anakin. Oh yeah, I hate sand. It's rough and coarse and gets all over the places or something like that. I'm a Star Wars fan. That's what I just exposed myself as right then. Well, anyway, we're going to the desert, Anakin or no. So, that's it. Well, everybody, why don't we go ahead and get started? Welcome. Happy Thursday. Welcome to our Final Fantasy XVI lecture stream. I am Wade, aka ProfNoctis, Professor Noctis. I am an actual university faculty member that teaches religion and humanities through video games, particularly Judeo-Christian kingship through Final Fantasy XV. That's what I did my dissertation on. And we are playing through Final Fantasy XVI on hard mode as we deep dive into the philosophy of religion, talk about some things along the way. And tonight we're going to continue where we left off, which was after the first confrontation with Titan / Hugo. We're going to be heading into the desert, chasing him down for a final showdown and confrontation with him. Also, got to mention, several people have asked me about this on Twitter and on here. Hey, when are we going to do the Final Fantasy XV stuff? And just so you know, we will be doing Final Fantasy XV, and it is my bread and butter. It's what I love. Not only is it probably arguably my favorite Final Fantasy game, maybe one of my favorite games of all time. It is the reason that I became a doctor. I did my dissertation on Final Fantasy XV, and we will be getting back into Final Fantasy XV really in preparation for next semester, because I'm actually teaching that class at the University of Alabama, and so I need your help for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, would love your help in some side projects I'm doing that will also include some videos, as well as finally working on the written work. Everybody is always like, hey, Wade, we'd love to read your dissertation. I'm like, you really wouldn't. It's actually not that interesting, because what you want is the curriculum I used, which is not included in the Final Fantasy XV dissertation. It is actually an addendum that is not included. So anyway, what you want is what I'm currently working on. We'll get to that. Several Final Fantasy Circle are making the My Hands jokes. My Hands by Leona Lewis, the song from Final Fantasy XIII. Oh yeah, what a banger song, right? What did y'all think of Final Fantasy XIII? I love Final Fantasy XIII personally. I love it. Lightning, so good, so cool. Snow Villiers, or is that how you say his name? Villiers? That's how I've always said it. I love Final Fantasy XIII. Also, some of the most underappreciated music in the entire franchise. I love Final Fantasy XIII. It's so stinking good. Leona Lewis, My Hands. Kind of an odd choice for a final song in the game, but I like it. 13 was your first FF, so you're biased. Hey, what a great one to come into. That was a really fun one, you know? People complain that it's super linear, but like, I don't know. It doesn't strike me as more linear or less linear than the others. It's just maybe not an open world map. The music, the story, you like Hope, Leon, yes, okay. He was written realistic and was hated unjustly. I agree with that. He was hated unjustly. His story arc between him and Snow, oh my gosh, one of the best. One of the best in the entire franchise. Gosh, his revenge narrative towards Snow and ultimate redemption, oh my gosh, so stinking good. Gosh, I love that. Re-release it, Square. That's what we want. I love it. And how many Final Fantasy characters got like a Louis Vuitton deal, right? The whole Hope and Snow storyline really was incredible. Absolutely it was. I don't care what anybody says. There's so many people that like just love to hate on more recent Final Fantasies, and I'm just gonna say it, they're wrong. They are freaking wrong. Final Fantasy 13, 14 of course, 15, 16, don't hate on these. They're great. They're a perfect evolution of what we had in the old days. My Hands was not written for Final Fantasy 13. You're right, Leon. It was not. It was not written for Final Fantasy 13. Just switch for Kimi ga Irukara because you're here, which the lyrics do fit the game. Yeah. Leona Lewis's song was not made for Final Fantasy 13. I always thought it was weird that you've had this like heroic moment, this final boss, and then suddenly you hear, I put on my makeup. Like, what are we doing? She's getting ready for her Louis Vuitton deal. I wake up in the morning, put on my makeup, tired of sleeping. It's gonna be a good night, y'all. It's gonna be a good night, everybody. It's gonna be a good night. We're singing Leona Lewis from circa 2009, 10. I don't remember when it was. Do you remember the lyrics to that song? It was bonkers. My hands, your hands, our hands. Was it like all the pronouns? All the possessive pronouns? My hands, your hands, our hands. I forget. Talking to the mirror. That was it, supportive. That was it. I'm talking to the mirror. Ready for the weekend? Is that what? It's something bonkers. So let me pull up the lyrics. Before we get into the actual lecture, we're just finally here. Hey, some dude, how you doing? We have already ready for a new day. Hey, thanks for the follow, Johnny1337. How you doing, babe? How you doing, baby? It's gonna be a good night tonight. You just got recommended. Oh my gosh, I got recommended to somebody. What? Holy crap. That's amazing. Well, hey, thanks for hopping in. We're going to have a good time. I know that we're known for our lecture streams, but we're having a good time just talking about Final Fantasy 13 right now. I mean, who doesn't love some Final Fantasy 13 banter? Hey, you want to do something else? Like, okay, before we get into 16, let me just say this. I'm going to make a crazy statement to you. Final Fantasy 13, in my opinion, has the best active time battle system in the entire franchise. I'll stand by that. The paradigm system, the ATB system, the ways that you can customize your characters and your parties, like, it is make or break, and I absolutely love it, especially once you get to the Bartandalus fight. Holy smokes, it's so good. So good. Okay, Leon. Oh, Leon, a block of text here. What's going on here? But Wade, you have to understand, I played the launch version of Final Fantasy XV. I was very, very rough and left a bad taste for you personally. Oh man, while I've seen the improvements they made, and we'll get the Royal Edition when your class starts and take a new perspective. Okay, Leon, here's my word to you. Here's my word to you. And this is the ProfNoctis Wade guarantee. When you take my Final Fantasy XV course with me, and when you get, eventually, that book in your hand after I'm done writing it and we publish it, when you take this course, you will love Final Fantasy XV. Mark my words. I will make it my mission to lead you into loving Final Fantasy XV the same way that I do. We got guarantees. We got guarantees. In fact, you can go to any of my former students and ask them the question, hey, did you like Final Fantasy XV before Dr. Langer's class? And they will say to you, no, I did not. I thought it sucked. But that class not only changed my perspective, it changed my life. I guarantee you, they will say it. They will freaking say it. In fact, they say it in my SOIs, which is a student opinion of instruction. Like, I know what they say. It's like, I did not care for this video game. He completely changed my mind on this video game. It has become one of my favorites of all time. All time. Sorority girls, sweet little Kaios, sweet little Alpha Fees come into my class. They take Final Fantasy XV. They're like, I don't play video games. I don't like video games. What are you talking about? What's a video game? Tetris? Blah, 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 blah. They have no idea. And they're just like, I heard it was an easy A, which it is. And that's fine. But anyway, they take my class, and then all of a sudden, they're sobbing over characters that are just like, you know, anime tropes. Who's Luna? Ask my little Alpha Fees. They know Luna. They love Luna. One girl in class literally said to me, I feel like I'm Luna. And I'm like, really? Huh? How about that? Sobbing over Luna Freya. Yeah, and don't we all? And so will you. So will you once we get to the Final Fantasy XV sessions and lecture streams. I guarantee it. I guarantee it's going to hit you in a way that you've never been hit before. Oh gosh, it's going to be so good. I want to get through Final Fantasy XVI so we can have this deep love affair with Final Fantasy XV. Because you'll get it. You will get it. Oh my gosh, you're going to love these boyos. We're going to spend so much time fishing and driving around. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Wait till those Alpha Fees discover there's 14 other Final Fantasies before 15. Yeah. In fact, we have a specific lecture just about halfway through the class where we've gone through the Bible, like the entire Old Testament Hebrew scriptures. We have gone through Genesis all the way to Malachi in 4 weeks. 4 weeks, okay? They become experts in this stuff, and I test them on it. And then we have a lecture called What is Final Fantasy? Because, like, I mean, I have to. I've got gamers in there who don't know anything about religion. I've got religious people in there that don't know anything about games. Then I've got these sweet sorority girls that don't give a rip about Jesus or Noctis. Okay? And so it's one of these things where it's like, okay, well, I've got to explain what a Final Fantasy is. What is a Final Fantasy? And that's why I created that YouTube video. What is Final Fantasy? People are like, oh, this guy is just trying to hop into the YouTube space. No, I did it because I needed a homework assignment to give to my students. Typically a 75-minute lecture, I boiled it down to about 15 minutes. And I was like, I need to show them what a Final Fantasy is, and so here's what it is. Sorry, rant over. Get excited for Final Fantasy 15 in the spring, everybody. And this is our practice run with Final Fantasy 16. We're building a nice class community. We're gaining some trust here. We're getting a little vulnerable here. And then next semester, we're going to blow the roof off the place. We're going to be like Final Fantasy 15, baby. 16 was awesome. 15, about to be mind-blowing. People come in here, I hate Final Fantasy 15. It's not a Final Fantasy. Oh, this is a boy band road trip fishing excursion. And you're right, but, whoo boy, get excited. Okay, what's happening here? What's happening? There's so much happening. This is intense. I love it. Lady of the Rings, I only know one speed, and it's intense. And in Final Fantasy 15, what do? They camp in tents. So, full circle. Wait until those alpha fees discovered. Yeah, we did that. I joined up at a hype moment. What's up, Hoven? Welcome. You did. They asked me. I don't even think they asked me about Final Fantasy 15. It's just on my mind and on my heart. And hide it under a bushel no. So I'm going to talk about Final Fantasy 15. That's it. Of course, it's Final Fantasy 16, 15. Prince of Lucis and King of Fishing. My body is ready. Yes. Yes. That's the energy that we need. In fact, I've got a t-shirt that says Prince of Lucis, King of Fishing. And it's great. It's great. I love that shirt. I also have it on my my Yeti mug. By the way, will I do classes for other Final Fantasy games? If I'm so stricken by it, you know? Not every game needs to be a class. But 15 was obvious, and I'll convince you of that next semester. But 16, I wasn't planning on it, but then it was like, hey, guess what? Let's go full bore into religious philosophy. We like that? And I was like, okay. And I'll tell you what, the moment it hit me was the first time Ultima called Clive Mythos. And I was like, hey, that's something. That my like Greek is tingling. My ancient Greek is tingling in my brain and in my heart. I was like, we can do something with this. And then later on, oh my gosh, when they say logos, oh, craziness. So, Mr. Matt, I want to love 15 too, but I'm not in Alabama. Mr. Matt, good news. That's why we're on here. That's why we're on Twitch and YouTube, to bring the good news to the world. To let you know, the people, wherever you may be, from LA to Germany to the Philippines, to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, that Final Fantasy 15 is a good game. Underrated, but good. You're going to love 15, guarantee it. That's the ProfNoctis guarantee. The sorority girls should know about the genocide going on in Israel. You know what? I am confident that they are learning about that in some of their classes. We have a side conversation in some of my classes about some current events and stuff. And as it relates to some of the course material, especially in some of the religious studies classes, I'm not teaching those this semester, but in some of those classes, we do address some of the Israel-Palestine stuff going on over there. Now, like so many, I feel like I'm woefully underprepared to have those conversations. I can speak to a degree of the theology of it, but the geopolitical stuff is a little bit beyond me. But I can say, at the University of Alabama, they are learning about all kinds of things in current events. Anyone else notice the music change for 16 title screen after you beat it? Yes, Mr. Matt, I absolutely did. Such a beautiful, beautiful transition for that one. Hey now, if F15 is not the worst mainline Final Fantasy, you are correct. That would be 2 or 3. I love Final Fantasy 2. I'd personally say that the worst mainline is Final Fantasy 5, but that's me. That's me. And with that little bombshell, I guess it's time to move on, right? How long have we ranted? Have we ranted for 20 minutes about this? Oh my gosh. And people keep on hopping into view. Did you come here for the rant? Did you come here for my love for Final Fantasy 15? No. You came here for a Final Fantasy 16 rant. So why don't we do that? Let's go on and get on with it. Live scene, baby. And 3, 2, 1. Heck yeah, let's do this. Okay, are we ready? We ready? Did I say Bass Pro Noctis? Bass Pro Noctis, heck yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Back to the map. Rant. Okay, to the hideaway. Okay, since we had a little bit of a derail, a side quest of our own in the first 20 minutes of the stream, we just faced Titan in Rosaria, and now we're going back to the hideaway. And like a coward, he ran away. Well, he got carried away. But he lost his hands. So, to the hideaway. Intense. Nobody really laughed at my intense joke. It's a shame. He couldn't handle it.
Just look at the state of you. You're more of a wreck than this place. Is this what you call taking better care of yourself? No more excuses, your ladyship. I order you to rest. Fine. I'll rest.
I wish I could be ordered to rest. Oh.
Don't worry, Gav. She's in good hands.
But we should have never let her fall into Hugo's. Back when he had some, like. The question is...
Back when he had some.
And what the hell
Hands.
was Royalist doing there?
I was wondering about that all the way home.
Got
Okay,
him.
I've heard something. I'll talk to him.
And I'll talk to Tomes.
The lawsman. About what?
About your faithful hound for a start. If any four-legged friend's ever done that before, I'm betting Tomes will have read about it. But what I want to know is, what happens afterwards? It's all well and good Torgal saving our arses, but if it costs him what it cost Jill...
Right. Let me know if you learn anything.
I love that everybody,
Will do. And you do the same, eh?
including the dog, just has this magical power. I think that's pretty rad.
Jill.
Oh, you gotta go back to work tomorrow, Supportive? That's a bummer.
Thank you.
The weekend is near. I really wanted the theme of 13. Yeah. Yep. You missed me singing My Hands at the beginning of the stream. It was quite the opener. Quite the opener. Look at all the side quests, everybody. The side quests we are not gonna do. Not right now,
What's that?
anyway.
Is now a good time?
Oh, you got COVID! Oh my gosh, Supportive, I'm so sorry.
Oh, she's been better.
As a guy that had the
No,
flu
he's
last
making sure
week,
she gets the
oh
rest she
man.
needs. Good.
Godspeed. That's brutal. Do you feel better now?
Vivian's doing what she can to try and track him, but she's feeding on scraps.
Look at
We
all
sent out
those
to the
side
guest
quest
brokers and our other
chickens.
friends in the West, asking them to keep their eyes peeled for anything unusual. No leads yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Right. Let me know when you find something.
Let me know.
There he is.
Oh, there she is.
Alive. Still busy saving the world.
Mid. When did you get back?
Mid.
Just now.
What about your studies?
Adjourned. Since Hugo Kupka invaded Rosaria. All the canvass in uproar about it. He's gone mad. He's turned rogue. It'll be us next. You try concentrating with all of that.
All right, you win.
How long will you be staying this time?
Dunno. A while, most likely. Any road, while I'm here, I was hoping you could do us a favour.
Oh, that's her middle name. Mid.
Can't just
Do us a
expect me to-
favor.
Please, oblige.
Telemon. Hey, Viv.
While we are busy tracking down Kupka, you should have a little time to spare.
Professor! Now there's a face I haven't seen in a while. Shouldn't you have it buried in a dusty old tome?
I did, till a familiar trill pricked my ears. As ever, your exuberance is a breath of fresh air, which successfully scattered the painstakingly assembled fragments of my thoughts.
I'll take that as a compliment. Well, Clive, you heard the professor. So, I'll meet you in the storeroom when you're done.
Wait, hold on.
Here's the thing. She's a fine character,
Breath of fresh air.
but the quests that she gives are not my favorite.
More like.
She's a fine character on her own. Also, though, I gotta be real.
Oi, Otto,
I gotta be real.
you got my gill.
I don't love Final Fantasy V, and Mid is a callback to Final Fantasy
My
V.
fee
So
for bringing Mid across. She said you were paying.
5 is fine.
Little.
The storeroom, was it?
To the storeroom.
Mid's plotting.
I wonder what she's plotting to. But her name is Period Relief. Oh, Jeffrey. Oh, Jeffrey. You're so right. Mid, do us a favor, and Blackthorn, I need therapy blacksmith. Is that his last name? Blackthorn Blacksmith?
You took your time.
I'm a busy man, Mid.
I'll get to the point then. I want to turn the room down there into a workshop like the one I had at Dad's place.
Some dude, you're right. You're right. It is fun for us all to be together.
And I've been thinking about it for a while.
But wouldn't it be more fun if we, like, I don't
I had a
know,
knack for engineering.
rode around in a
About it. Then sent me off to camp
in an
to learn everything
Audi,
he didn't.
and like
That was his dream for me. That
camped
one
in
day
tents
I'd
and
put
went
my studies to
fishing.
use for the good of the
That's
cause.
together. Fetch quests aren't the only
But
way
I'm
to
not
be
the no
together.
one stuck at school. I've studied enough. It's time I put my knack to work. I know that I can help the people here, and I want to do it.
I know so many students like Mid.
Well, if Sid could see you now.
They're like,
All right.
I've studied enough. I can
I'll
help
tell
the
Auntie
world
you'll be
now.
staying.
I wrote Ambrosia outside of Dalamil, at
Which
least.
is
That's
why
true. Some
I wrote
do.
up a list of jobs for you.
For me?
Who else?
Who else?
What do you want me to do?
First things first, I need equipment and materials to start making my own. There's the designs for the stuff I need, and the stuff it needs smithing from. The other materials I can work myself. Just need a generous benefactor to lay them on for me.
I guess that's me.
Apart from the wood, I'll need a carpenter for that, but I can just borrow yours.
Is that everything?
For now. I'll let you know if I need out else.
My favorite thing about Mid is that she comes in, meets us, and is like, okay, I'm in charge now.
Where to start? Materials and tools. That means Karen and Blackthorn.
Karen and Blackthorn. She comes in like she owns the place, and she's like, guess what, Clive/Sid? I've got a grocery list, and you're gonna get it for me. Oh, what? You're the leader of the resistance? Too bad. You're door dashing now.
The little ones have been up to their old tricks again.
The little one's been up to their old tricks again.
Jill looked white as a sheet.
Poor Jill. Hello, Karen.
Was wondering where you
I've got the time. You're right, supportive.
It's back
You're
from
right.
Canva. Have you seen her?
Just now. She's planning to set up a workshop in the stores and ask me to buy her some materials. Here's the list.
Mid did take
Think
one
you
look
can
at
find
Clive, and she was like,
everything
look at this sucker. He'll give me exactly what I want.
Wouldn't be much of a trader if I couldn't.
Excellent. As for payment,
It's paid. 100 times
Go to
over
Tomes
by
for a
what
Lord
that
Ash.
girl's done
Yeah,
for
you're right,
us.
you're right.
If it weren't for her filters, we'd have naught to drink but blight water, and that would have drained the life out of us long ago.
indeed it would.
I'll send the stuff on to Mid when it comes in.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. If any of you have been watching on YouTube, I have not been looking at that chat, so my bad. Ugh. I was looking in the wrong screen. My bad. Yeah, let's go talk to old Tomes real quick. I'm going to help the world with pointless fetch quests.
Tome says he's looking for books about it all.
Hello, Harpocrates.
Ah, Clive. A moment, if I may. You'll be pleased to hear that I've completed another volume. And while my collection is still far from becoming the 1,000 tomes that young Crow has quaintly dubbed it, I hope the knowledge chronicled within might yet be of some benefit to the Hideaway. Of course, I would not have penned half as many volumes without the tales you and the others bring back from your travels, for which generosity I shall be forever grateful.
You're so welcome, Tomes. These side quests will give us time to cook up some thoughts regarding Titan. That's true. So after a couple of days, have you been thinking about
May the winds of fortune carry you
some
far.
theories and thoughts on Titan?
When we find out anything about Torgal, you'll be the first to know.
Thanks, buddy. To old Blackthorn, I need therapy blacksmith, as we call him. Hello, Blackthorn.
Blackthorn, you busy?
What does it look like?
I have a
A
commission
simple
for you.
yeah would have
from Mid.
sufficed.
She requires certain tools.
How about a supply kit?
Do you think you can make them?
Bloody hell. What's she planning to build with this stuff? An airship?
You'd think
I'll see what I can do.
you would be
Till I'll
wrong.
bring them over when I'm done.
My thanks. And Mid's, no doubt.
No doubt. Like that 90s pop
That just
band.
leaves the carpenter. Let's see if Bardolph's available.
Oh, the carpenter.
It's all right.
Carpenter's way down there.
Interfere from
Okay.
Kupka.
Sid has nothing to fear from Kupka. He took off his hands. Whee!
Do with a good oil in this, could.
There he is. Hidden behind the planks.
How do, Master Sid?
Bardolph. Mid's
A
looking
good
to build
question,
workshop in the
Jeffrey.
storeroom, and she needs the aid of a skilled carpenter. So naturally I thought of you.
Well, I'd love to help the young miss however I can. But I'm afraid I got my hands full.
Who doesn't
just
love a
keeping
good
this
Gwen
place
Stefani
afloat.
reference?
There's holes need patching, and if I don't patch
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
them, we'll all of us sink into the mere. I'd gladly spare Mid all the time I have, but the sad truth is, I ain't got none.
I see.
Some dude. I love this. This is good.
It don't have to be me, though, does
I'll get
it?
to it in a second.
What about that other fella? You know, the one over at Martha's Rest. Bernard, was it?
That's
Bernard.
right. And he is a friend of the cause. I'll ask Martha if she can spare him. Thank you, Bardolph.
Thank you, Bardolph.
Least I could do.
All right, to Martha's Rest. Oh no, not you. Oh goodness, what am I doing? I get out of photo mode. I'm pressing all of the wrong buttons right now because I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom in my spare time. And so none of this is working. Okay, to Martha. I appreciate how Clive repeatedly takes the role of righteous judgment giver multiple times, like with Kupka when he calls him on his many misdeeds. Fair. I love that. Clive does take on this role of judgment, and I think we'll see that more once he meets a certain wine-loving prince of Sanbrec. Isn't that good? Jeffrey, I'm 45. How seasoned are you? I am seasoned like a good slab of ribs in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Very well seasoned. And a fine wine.
Ah, Clive.
Final boss
What brings
opening
you to
the map.
rest?
Our home finds itself in need of an extra carpenter. I wondered if I might be able to borrow Bernard for a short while.
I don't mind if he don't. We're all friends here, aren't we?
Thank you, Martha. Do you know where I might find him?
He went up to Cressida on business. No idea what, mind. Place is a ruin. Far as I know, he's still there.
I'll look for him there then.
Off to Bernard. Is it Bernard? I don't remember if it's Bernard. Yeah, it is Bernard. I'm having a hard time remembering all of their names. Bardolph. Bernard. Okay. He is way up. That was the right button that time. He's up there, so we gotta go this way. That song reminds me a little bit of one of the camping songs in Final Fantasy XV. Love it. This is not a 15 stream. I have to remind myself of that. I don't know why it's been on my mind so much lately. I just love that game so much. All right, fast escape. Oh. Do you know what you all forgot to do? You know what you all forgot to do? Here's a hint. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. You forgot to remind me to do something. Before we head into the desert, I need you to remind me to do the thing.
I've entered the lad who saved my life.
Potions! Exactly. I need to make that a Streamlabs macro.
Martha said I might find you here.
Remember the potions, Clive.
I have a proposition for you.
Oh, do you know?
Oh, do you know? Yeah, we're playing on ultra hard mode because it's like no potions, only things we find in the grasslands.
Building a workshop, you say? Well, that beats tacking boards to bridges, sure enough.
Yeah.
And if Martha didn't mind me being gone a while, then neither do I. You just tell me where you want me.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
I couldn't ask a favor, though, could I? Before we go?
Of course.
Let's take out some of these.
Well, that there is Cressida, where I grew up. Ain't much left of it now, though. Except my parents' graves. But I came up here hoping to visit. I even patched up the bridge to get across. Only to find the place crawling with fiends. But you're a dab hand when it comes to dealing with beasts and bogles, ain't you?
Beasts and bogles are my speciality.
It's the least I can do.
Well, thank you kindly. And take care.
Yeah, giant scorpions just prowling about like they own the place. Not for long, though. Come on, Toggle. Come on, Toggle.
This shouldn't take long.
Gosh, this is a 5-level difference. This is gonna suck. Shiva! Let's just burn them all. Get them all out of here. Gotcha. New enemies. Hey! Thank you for the follow, Andre. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Andres plays 93. Welcome to the chat. Everybody, I follow Andre over on Twitter, or X as it's called now. He's a good follow. You should all give him a follow tonight. Love Final Fantasy 16. Me too. Me too. It's a fun one. Oh, man. Oh, not him. Oh, no, you don't. Man. Oh, bad news. Good boy. There we go. I love it. You jerk. No, you don't. Oh my goodness. Relatable though. Woo! Remember, chat, what you're gonna remind me of? Do you remember? Potions. We can't go another battle without potions. There we go. There's a good boy. There we go. Now we got him. Will we get extra credit if you succeed? Yeah, you get bonus points. Sick him, Toggle! Does this Twitter post equal up to Ben's star, and will they make me wet like this? I cannot vouch for that exactly, but what I can tell you is that he's a good follow. Ben is a ridiculous follow. He is so funny. Come on, let's do this. Come on. Yes, there we go. Sick him, Toggle. There's a lot happening.
Get him.
There we go. Not our best effort, not our worst. I've seen worse. I've done worse than that, so. Potions, potions, potions! Yes, we have to remember the potions this time.
That should do it.
You made short work of that lot.
I did. I'm a professional.
Thank you, son. Now my folks can rest in peace once more.
How long is it since the village was abandoned?
I love the VV scarecrow in the back. Professional Noctis.
Oh,
that's
people
right.
started packing their things after the duchy fell. Between the Blight and the Imperials, you just couldn't make ends meet. Must be nigh on a decade since the last wagon left. Oh, it may as well have been a century, looking at the place. This isn't the Cressida I remember.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't be. Can't live in the past, no matter how nice it might have been. Soon as I'm done saying a prayer for those that raised me, it's onto your hideaway. I'll meet you.
Is it Leon? Kenneth's character model without the brand? I could not confirm nor deny that.
Little list. Better head back before she thinks of anything else.
Probably. Okay, anything else here? Oh, no, this is not what I want. Okay, back to Hideaway. First time I played this game, 0 fast travel. We're not about that life right now. They are pretty similar, I'll give you that. Oh, mid-doll.
To their old tricks again.
Mid-doll. Hello, Otto. I really need to do a little bit of grinding off stream. Get Clive's level up. If I ever finish Tears of the Kingdom, though, like that's what I play off stream right now. I'm narrowing in on the
Alright, Clive, you've all
on the
done
end.
then?
I am. I've placed your various orders, and a carpenter by the name of Bernard is on his way from Martha's Rest.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Clive.
Is
You're welcome,
there
Mid.
anything else you need?
Nope. Blackthorn and Lady Karen have already sent over everything I asked for, and I've got all my plans drawn up. So as soon as Bernard gets here, we can get to work. I can't wait.
You're welcome, Mid. Glad to be of help to you, friend. Going down the list, so I just beat 8 recently. Now you're on 9, like 8. It's your first time diving in, but so far you love Vivi. Hey, Mr. Matt.
That's my good
Vivi's
for the day,
so good.
Let's see how Jill's faring.
Andre, big fan of Mid. Okay. I'll respect it. Mid as a character, I'm pretty okay on. Mid as a quest giver, I'm pretty mid on. Back to the infirmary.
Ah, Clive.
Hi, Tarja.
Tarja. How's Jill?
Recovering, but she still needs her rest.
Yeah.
Of course. Take good care of her, won't you?
I'll do my best. Oh, Gav was looking for you. He said he had something to show you in the shelves.
The shelves?
The shelves.
Oh, that's right. He went to ask Harpocrates about Torgal. He must have found something.
I'm coming. There is a part of me that's slowly dying because I see all of these green side quest checks, but we're not doing side quests. We are mainlining this. Except when it comes to Blackthorn, who gives us the big sword. I liked your plans to make the Enterprise flight. Listen, I love the plans. Great laid plans. But that's where they ended. Plans.
Clive, where have you been? I've been wanting to ask you something about Torgal. Where did you get him? Like, in the first place?
Ooh, Leon. We'll get to that.
My father
maybe
brought
before
him
we go
back
to the
from
desert.
one of his expeditions into the Northern Territories. They were crossing a snowfield when they heard his cries, and seeing no sign of his pack, they took him in.
What do you reckon, Torms?
It certainly adds weight to the theory. Clive, I believe that Torgal may be no mere hound, but a rare frostwolf, an animal native to the far northern reaches of Valencia.
frostwolf.
In one of our oldest bestiaries, I found reference to a frostwolf who served as guardian to an ancient queen of the north. Such was his mastery over ether, he could cast magics on command. His name was Fenrir.
Fenrir the Frostwolf.
Now, the annals do not state it explicitly, but I have reason to believe this queen was a dominant of Shiva, a girl from the Northern Territories, and her faithful...
It is New Game Plus on
one
Final Fantasy mode, yeah.
awakens as the dominant of Shiva, and the other...
You're saying that Jill granted Torgal his powers?
What?
Just like Fenrir. People called him my hound, but Torgal and Jill were inseparable. He grew up as a faithful companion to the dominant of Shiva, and years later, his powers awakened, just when his master needed him the most.
You're right. If it weren't for Torgal blasting those bastards to Kingdom Come, Jill would have been for it.
Quite. Though Torgal's power is his own, his latent birthright as a frostwolf. It had only to be unlocked.
Oh, get you, Torgal.
Look at you, Torgal.
Even finer hound than we thought.
And regarding your original concern, you need not fear for Torgal's health. Why, the beast has the appetite of a behemoth. Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
Ha!
There you are!
Gosh, I forgot about that line. That's a good one.
For you. Bernard's here. I need you to introduce us so we can get to work.
I shall be a moment.
What a phrase. They knew what they were doing.
Isn't it brilliant?
It is.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You and everyone else. But I promise I'll pay you back. I'm gonna work my fingers to the bone for you lot, starting right now. Just you wait. I'll make wonders like this world's never seen.
Then I look forward to seeing them. Now that that's settled, I wonder if Vivian's made any progress tracking down Kupka.
So just because there's not going to be another place to really discuss this, I do want to kind of talk a little bit about Fenrir. And so buckle up for just a couple of minutes as we talk about this. Fenrir, as you probably know, comes from the wolf or the dog of the same name in Norse mythology. Fenrir is, I believe if I'm right, the product of Angerboda and Loki, and ultimately becomes a pet to the gods, living peacefully until betrayed by the gods, and then he almost becomes like an enemy to the gods. He's chained up by them. He eventually ends up killing, I think, let me look this up real quick. I'm not a super scholar in Norse mythology, but one thing I think, yeah, let me look up something real quick. I believe that Fenrir, does he kill Odin? And then he's killed by one of Odin's sons, I believe. Yeah, something like that. Okay, here's something. Fenrir is kept by the gods as a pet and is raised by them, but he begins to grow at an alarming rate, and only the god Tyr is brave enough to feed him, which encourages a friendship between the two. As Fenrir grows larger and larger, the gods remember the prophecy and think it in their best interest to bind the wolf up. They invite Fenrir to a contest of strength, telling him they don't believe he will be able to break free of the fetter known as the looting. Fenrir allows himself to be chained and then easily breaks the bonds. The gods then forge a stronger chain and try again, but Fenrir breaks these chains just as easily, almost like Samson in the Hebrew narrative. Odin is determined to have the wolf bound before he grows too large and strong to control, even though at this point in the story Fenrir has caused no trouble and lives peacefully with the gods. Sends a messenger, the god Skirnir, to the dwarves at their fiery forges beneath Midgard, asking them to make a fetter Fenrir will not be able to break. Long story short, Fenrir remains chained on an island until the day of Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods, when the 9 realms are destroyed in a great battle. Yeah. So this is an interesting thing. A dog/pet that lives peacefully among the gods until he doesn't. Kind of chained by the gods. To be controlled. But it's also kind of interesting to note, and let's swap over to this, maybe we'll be able to see it. If you notice, there is a chain on Torgal's legs.
I think I'll wait till the mid's away to take it to.
And it's a broken binding. And I think that that's a nice allusion to this idea of Fenrir being chained to the gods, controlled by the gods, all that kind of stuff. Certainly with his affinity for the dominant of Shiva. So, there we go. Little mini lecture there. Not a lot to go off of, but I don't know if another time that we would talk about it. So, there's that. To Vivian, and then onward to Titan / Hugo. I see what you wrote, Leon. I'm going to come back to that once we get to the map screen.
We have myriad sightings of strange soldiers in unexpected places, but nothing definitive as yet. If only we knew for certain by what route he left Rosalith.
Well, keep at it. If anyone can piece this puzzle together, it's you. And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
That potatoes, I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that you're right. He's foretold to kill Odin, but I'm not sure in everything beyond the Prose Edda if that comes to be.
What? Here?
Would that be a problem?
Do you know, Clive? I believe it a mercy that you didn't inherit your father's throne. Your poor people would surely live in fear of you.
You have nothing to worry about on that front. I won't be claiming his crown.
That is a relief.
Clive, have you got a minute?
So many minutes.
We, have a guest.
I forgot that he's back. I love this guy.
For your trouble.
For your trouble.
It's a pleasure, in hindsight. Uncle Byron?
Lord Byron.
Clive, my boy! Tap a cask and stoke the ovens, for your favourite uncle is here!
He's so good. What's up, Kurai? Karuai? Gosh, why can I never say your name right the first time? He's such a good character. Oh, but not the best. Because the best is here.
The Dalmekian government sues for peace. How shall we respond?
If they're willing to accept their fault in the matter, I see no reason to refuse them.
He's so cool.
Still, we must insist on substantial reparations. The Twinside stores are not as bottomless as reported.
Aye, and we have many more mouths to feed. We shall just have to have the Dalmeks empty their treasuries for us.
Of course, none of this would have been possible without your timely intervention, Prince Olivier.
Indeed, I doubt any of us would have had the courage to trade words with the mighty Titan, nor less the wit to win him over.
Freaking Olivier.
Owes you a great debt.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you, Your Highness.
May the blessing of the crystals go with you.
And also with you.
Very good.
Now, let us come to the question of precisely when the Dalmeks will withdraw their troops.
Dion's fire could rid us of them in mere moments. The men of the Fist will not withdraw until a peace treaty is concluded. So let us keep the negotiations open, give them time to gather what gold and trinkets they can, and once they deliver that which we demand, what worth is a piece of parchment?
Your Radiance, were Prince Dion to take the field, the enemy would surely send their own dominant to meet him. And while His Highness would of course prevail, there would be heavy losses on both.
You need not fear Hugo Kupka. He is engaged on the Western Front. Even were the Dalmeks to send for him, he would not arrive in time. As much as I would enjoy witnessing a clash between Bahamut and Titan.
Also, that's your son. Ugh,
it is not to be.
This guy.
And what of your subjects, Your Radiance?
Your Radiance.
If the fighting spread to the city proper, the people would bear the brunt of it.
There will be losses, it is true. Yet for every citizen who falls, another can be bred. For every home that burns, another can be built. The Empire will live on. Dion?
Yes, sire.
Yeah. These are such good scenes. Gosh. It is. Just incredible renaissance.
But sire, do not make me repeat myself. Return to your camp and await my orders.
If that is your wish, your radiance, I shall depart at once.
Devil woman.
May Greco forgive you.
May Greco forgive you. Yeah.
What do the astrologers augur?
The stars are in agreement, Your Radiance. The shadow of treachery hangs over Prince Dion.
So Annabella's tales were true. You disappoint me, Dion.
What on earth is Uncle Byron doing here? Only one way to find out.
Before we talk about that, I feel like we've got to talk about freaking Dion, right? While we've got a Bahamut Dion conversation coming up soon, this is a great time for us to begin thinking about the divine attribute of Dion Bahamut, and I think that we see some hints at what it is, especially in his conflict with his father Sylvester, right? I think it also, who pointed this out? Lady of the Rings, you pointed out the painting behind Sylvester's throne. I think that's a really big one. You've got all the people kind of gathering, congregating, but being ruled over, so to speak, in the background by Greger, kind of this patron saint of the dragoons / goddess, standing on this dragon, this fierce creature. And it's almost like this sense of conflict and tension. Let me get away from these people talking. Ugh, I don't want to listen to them. But it's almost a sense of like this ferocious dragon that would ordinarily be fear is brought under control by the one who is in power, this king or righteous one. And I think that there's some elements of that we see in Dion. We're going to talk more about that when we discuss his specific episode with the Bahamut fight and stuff in a couple streams or so. But something worth thinking about right now. I love that. So if you've got ideas about what Bahamut / Dion might represent, what divine attribute, what godly image is showing up, I think that's really, really interesting. Some people in the chat, let's see, 70% there with your Fenrir knowledge. Fenrir does eat Odin in the Prozetta, in his turn slain by Violar, god of vengeance. Yeah, I thought I remembered something like that. Wikipedia is useful, isn't it, though? Potions! Ah, lady, yes! Potions. We got to get potions. Let me do that right now, and I'll continue reading some things. So, sorry, Lord Byron, we've got to get potions before we do anything.
Lid's moved into the store.
Hello. Note Sylvester completely giving into Mythos here. Ooh, interesting. Following what the astrologers ordained. Yeah, I think that you're right there. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good piece. Potions, all 8.
It'd better
all 5.
You're rubbing me blind,
and a stone skin to boot.
It'd better all be here.
Boot.
Come again.
For Bahamut, maybe law and order, yeah. Yeah, the sense of upholding duty, as gods are often lawgivers. Man, I think you got something there. And we're going to talk more about that, like I said, in a couple of streams. But that's something to be thinking about. And how is that conveyed in Dion's story as well, right? How is that conveyed within the story of what's going on with Dion? Gosh, I think it's just great stuff. Platinum Sword +4, do I have that? I don't even know. Flawless Liquid Flame. I don't have a Flawless Liquid Flame. It's okay. Not yet. But I will.
Anything else?
Okay, to Byron. For my notes, the first thing that came to mind is David. Don't know why his father reminds me of Saul. Also, David's best friend is Jonathan, and Dion is best friends with, is it another prince? Oh, that's Joshua. I think there's something could be said about Jonathan and David, and maybe Dion and Terrence to a degree as well. What is it that David says over Jonathan?
Well, fuck me.
Well, he didn't say that, but he did say your love to me was greater than that of women. So that was great timing, Gav. Gosh.
Ah, my dear nephew, how I've missed you.
How did you find this place, Uncle?
Through the good offices of young Sir Wade. He really is the most helpful fellow. As are you, I hear. The Guardians and those they freed tell the most outlandish tales of your heroics in Rosalith. Which is why I came, to learn the full truth of the matter. Sort the fact from the fiction, so to speak.
You were working with the Guardians of the Flame to evacuate the people
That
of
was
Rosalith.
amazing timing. Amazing timing.
Aye. Then I have questions for you. Please, come inside, Uncle.
Gladly.
I'm gonna need that clipped. I'm gonna need to see that later.
There are 2,000 gold talents in those chests. See that they're added to my nephew's
Oh,
coffers, would
dying. I'm dying.
2,000?
That was...
And I'm afraid that is all I know.
A fleet sailing south past Port Isolde. Most intriguing.
Forgive me for not being able to tell you more. I hadn't the faintest idea Kopko withdrew wounded from Rosalith. Still less that my own nephew dealt the decisive blow.
What do you think, Vivian?
I think, with this news of the Dalmekian fleet and recent reports of the Royalists' movements, that the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. Come here and I'll show you.
Okay, time for a lecture.
It is known that Kupka's forces entered Rosaria via its unguarded coast. So can the same be said of your visitors from Waloed? Certainly her royal navy is famed for the efficiency with which it bears her knights from one battlefield to the next. And in the Ein Heya, or Black Galleon, she boasts a vessel nigh as swift and every bit as feared as the kingdom's legendary cavalry. A fitting flagship for a land apart, her naval presence being crucial to her ambitions beyond Ash.
Hey, what's up?
That the Royalists did indeed.
Thanks for following, PSP. Good system.
So then, had you a vested interest in Titan's survival, whither would you take him? Why, home to Drake's Fang, a place rich enough in ether to conjure the magics needed to mend his hurts. But would that not entail an arduous voyage around the southern cape? Let us say that the Royalists did put ashore with a mind to spirit Kupka away from under your very nose. Could that truly have been their plan for him?
to load him aboard one of the ships flying Republican colors sighted off the coast near Port Isolde. To spend weeks at sea, being tossed hither and yon by unforgiving waves, his life hanging in the balance. No. The journey would mean Titan's death, and Kupka's faithful creatures would not allow it. So what then was the plan of our Waluda friends? Reports suggest they made not for the coast, but for the desert. And by cutting through the Velcroy, a party traveling light would have Titan back in his bed days before a galley could lurch into port. To wit, it was the Royalists, not the Republicans, who effected Hugo Kupka's safe retreat. I would stake your life on it.
Well, that's good. What is this clip you just put in here?
So it was the Waludas who spirited the wretch away. Now I think about it, there was something a little strange about the ships I saw. The men seemed almost crestfallen, as if in mourning, as if they believed, or were made to believe, that their master...
I'm going to show that in a minute. Are you freaking kidding me?
You have a keen mind, Lord Rosfield. And you have your answer. To find Kupka, you have merely to follow the Royalist trail across the Velcro.
I can't even focus on Vivian because of that.
By now. But as they say in the Republic, all roads lead to Drake's Fang.
Allow me to accompany you part of the way. As luck would have it, I had intended to journey Canberward on business after visiting you here. The Fang would be but a short detour.
I'd be glad of the company. Give me a moment to make ready. I need to tell my friends what we've learned. And where we're going.
Very well, but be quick about it, my boy. Time waits for no man.
Time waits for no man. Okay, I've got to see this clip that you just made, Lady of the Rings. I've got to see it. Like, it's not a, like, want to, it's a need to sort of situation. So, give me 1 second as I figure this out. That's crazy. Hey, what's up, Violet? How you doing? It's so great this game is going to have DLC. I agree. I'm very excited about the DLC for this game. I think it's going to be really good. Hey, you said it needed to happen? Yeah, we're gonna... we're about to find it. Good grief, what is happening? What is it that David says over Jonathan? Stop. Stop. Okay, hang on, what's this? Alright, everybody. This is the clip that was just made. So, we're gonna watch it together. This is gonna be insane. I don't remember if the timing was perfect, but in my ear it certainly was. Here's what it says. Okay, let's listen. What is it that David says over Jonathan?
Fuck me.
Well, he didn't say that. He did say... Stop! Well, he didn't say that. Oh my gosh, the timing there was absolutely incredible. Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. 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 Are you kidding me? What a clip. What a clip. Thank you for clipping that. Oh my gosh. What was it that David said to Jonathan? Not that. Sorry, Cap. Okay, you're not here for that. You're not here for that. Okay, what? Okay, what's everybody saying? It's so great this game. Hey, you said it needed to happen. Yep. From what a lot of people have thought and said, Final Fantasy XVI's 2 DLCs is going to take place in the future after the base, and second in the past with Cid being playable. I would be down with that. I would be down with that, to be honest. I think that'd be really cool. Really hoping for a prequel DLC. How did Torgal and Cid meet? I think that'd be awesome. I'd like to know what Joshua did as well before he meets up with Clive. Hope for a future update to be able to switch to our party members. Oh, Violet. Oh, man. That'd be amazing. Or, I don't know, make the party members a little bit more active. talkative. I don't know. I don't think they'll do anything like that, though. I'm greedy. Want to be able to play as new characters. That's fair.
I'll be leaving before sunset.
You're not going in there alone, are you?
Don't worry.
Playing as Jill would be fun. Oh,
I'm
man.
not going there to destroy the Mother Crystal. All I'm after is Kupka's head. I won't risk any more than I have to. I promise.
The Lanza and the Fang are all Kupka's personal fiefdom. You have any trouble on the way, you ask for Rosina Dalamil. Some call her the Desert Hare.
The Desert Hare.
An old associate of Sid's. And only Sid's. All I know is the name, and that they used to meet at the Dalamil Inn. We've heard nothing from her since he died. But I'm thinking maybe the new Sid might be able to bring her back into the fold.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
So, what about your uncle? I mean, he's welcome to stay, but...
Don't look so worried. He'll be coming with me.
Thank fuck for that.
Otto, I'm leaving you two in charge.
You can count on us.
Man, Gav is great. Gav is such a good character. Love that guy. I love that guy. Okay, to Byron. Sir Byron, Lord Byron.
All right, Uncle. I'm ready to depart. Shall we?
We shall. Come,
let us away
to adventure.
Let us away to adventure. Alright, this is a good chance as any to kind of chat for a moment. Let's do a mini 3-minute lecture or so before we head on down to the Velcroy Desert. So let me swap over to chatting for a second. There we go. So I actually want to pick up on something that Leon said a little bit earlier. I said I'd get back to it. He said a little bit earlier, I've been thinking most earth deities from many religions and mythology are female life bringers, which is hard to attribute to Hugo, and I think you're right there. Also, there isn't just one Titan, but predecessor of gods before they are Olympians. The closest I can think is Atlas, which represents stability, but yeah. That's fair. That's fair, Leon. I think that you're right. Now, one way of thinking about this is Titan a bringer of life? And I don't think there's really anything with Hugo that would denote that. I think that we are going to get into some creation sort of attributes of God later in the game, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Instead, with Hugo, as we talked a little bit about on Tuesday, I don't remember if you were in the lecture stream on Tuesday, but we talked a little bit about Hugo and Titan's primary core attribute being power. And this power can be used for life or death, prosperity or destruction, but ultimately power. It's the craving for power, and it is the exertion of power and strength. Sometimes, and I think that when we get to this earth sort of thing, I think there's a couple of ways of thinking about this with the Titans. There is something to this element of creation, but there's also something with power and might and rebellion against the reigning structures, and in some cases gods, like the Titans and the Olympians, for example. See on your other notes, Hugo equals Samson. Yeah, that's pretty on the nose, right? But I think that the way Final Fantasy describes Titan is always meant to be, it is an earth elemental or an earth god of extraordinary power. So instead of thinking of earth as like the seat of creation, instead we think of earth as like earthquake, this fierce power that is shifting like tectonic plates and all this kind of stuff. It can bring destruction, but it also has a cradling of humanity as well, which is really an interesting way of thinking about the divine attribute of power. Power can be used to offer a cradle of life, and it can be offered to destroy life in say an earthquake and stuff. Preservation and destruction there. So an interesting piece there. with Titan specifically, and I think this is true in depictions of Final Fantasy IV, and Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 15, Titan, I love what you say here. Some dude can think of Earth as an unmoving mountain and unyielding. So this is power, right? And so what can come up against this power, especially a power that is thwarted, right? Not thwarted, but a power that is driven, that's the word, driven by something like revenge or hate or a deep animosity, as is the case with Titan / Hugo. So, and what does it mean when Clive absorbs that power, being Mythos, and assimilates that power into himself? It's good. There are some symbolism in, especially if anyone here knows the language of flowers. I do not know the language of flowers. That's not my bag, but if that is yours, then I would love to know it. Give us a block of text on that. That'd be good. Like no man can move a mountain, no man can overpower a god. Hey, great point. And Leon picks up on that. Good point. Because in mythology, Atlas did indeed become a mountain. Yeah, pretty good. So there's some things to think about with that stuff. So let's go ahead and get to the desert. How about? We've got our potions stocked up. And you all get to be my travel companions to arguably the worst biome in any game, the desert. Maybe you like deserts. I'm not a desert guy. Ba-da-dum. Do-do-do-do.
I was a young man when last I walked this path. There's an old trading post not far from here.
I would argue swamps. Swamps are kind of frustrating, aren't they? They are natural sewers. I do hate sewers. But I don't know. I don't love deserts either. Deserts and sewers, man. What do you prefer in the chat? Deserts or sewers? Pick your poison.
Good girl.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Our destination lies over that dune, beyond
Does
the
it?
ruins. Mark 'em well, Clive. It's all too easy to lose one's bearings in the sands.
It is. Fly, Ambrosia.
Many years ago, when you were just a boy, you and I rode this way together, accompanying your father on a scouting expedition to Drake's Fang.
He let me come with you.
I'm not surprised you don't remember. It was just before Joshua was born.
Sweet
You
Joshua.
were so eager to be there when your brother arrived that you whipped your chocobo too hard on the journey home and fell from the saddle. I shall never forget how Elwyn fussed over you as you sat in the sand.
I take desert levels over a sewer level. Yeah, fair. This bit of dialogue is precious. Oh yeah, the memory of him traveling with his dad, that is sweet. Underwater levels always do seem to cause a lot of frustration. Big agree on that. What is your favorite underwater level of any game? Where you had to swim, not like the water temple. Well, I guess that would count as a water level, wouldn't it? Because Link does swim in that, but what would be your least favorite or your favorite water
Do you
level?
know, this heat has given me quite a thirst. Quick drink before we press on?
My first trip through this game, I stopped everywhere and did photo shoots with Torgal. Little fun ProfNoctis fact. That's why I hit 105 hours on my first playthrough or whatever. Hydrate or dihydrate.
Those are Ashen steeds. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
And such a long ride from Stonehair. Our Waluda friends must be soothing their saddle sores in the inn. Shall we join them? Run along and play now, Torgal. Dogs aren't allowed inside.
Donkey Kong Country 1 water level. That music, aesthetic, so good. Yes. Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Water Temple, yeah. You know, I'm actually going to say something nice about a game that I don't particularly love. Kingdom Hearts 3's Pirates of the Caribbean water level is pretty good. It did not bother me, the traversal and stuff. So... I love this scene so much. It's so cool.
Good day to you. Eating?
Sorry about my pal. He only talks when his mouth's full. What do you recommend?
Well, if you're after something light, we do a fine chocobo soup with lentils and honey.
2 bowls of that, then. An ale.
Right you are.
Hey, girl!
Coming!
Byron's so relatable.
Pal, would you rather be my squire?
Huh. This is one of the best scenes in the game. I just love it. The banter between Clive and Byron. Oh, it's you. Karua, I think you are right.
Grace, it is plain you are not yet well enough to travel. If you would only let me take you to someone who can better attend to your ills.
No, we must press on. Prince Dion has returned to his camp and will soon depart for the front. I must speak with him at all costs.
I agree,
Miss
Karua.
this chance and I may never get another. You do understand that?
Yes, Your Grace. But you must at least agree to take your medicine. I'll fetch you some water.
Like that the camera went through that slit in the partition. Pretty cool.
Keep watch, they tell us.
No, what are you talking about,
All I
dude?
see is sand.
I hear they got our guest back to the Fang without any trouble. We'll be leaving soon enough.
Why the Lord Commander dragged us all this way just to save that blockhead skin, I'll never know. Dominant or not, he's a bloody idiot.
That'll be Cooker, then.
Stop speaking. Ah!
Well, let's get this down us. We've a long way to go.
Hey, you.
Uncle?
Sorry.
Okay, cool.
Can you walk, Your Grace?
What's wrong?
I fear trouble may be brewing downstairs.
Hmm.
You two are travelers, are you not? Me and my companions are strangers here. Perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany us a while. Help us find our way.
Sorry, lads, but we've got business in camera that can't wait.
Ah, I'm sure you could spare us an hour or two.
I love the people whispering in the background. Oh, we gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Okay, Byron.
I'm afraid we don't have a moment to lose. Stay back, Uncle.
Gladly.
Stay back, Uncle. Okay, I want to try something during this fight. Somebody said that you could see Byron back here in photo mode. And I want to see it. There he is. And he's eating. He's just chilling. That's amazing. Okay. And the barkeep. Okay, well, back to fighting, I guess.
Take him.
Try it.
And dead. That was quite an epic and easy bar fight. Love it. Oh, Leon, that's pretty cool.
For your trouble.
Freaking
Word of advice, miss.
Lord
That soup could do
Byron.
with a touch more salt.
What a weirdo. Iris means courage, hope, valor, wisdom, depending on what color. It's different meaning. That's cool. Thinking of you. That's awesome. And it creates poisonous marks that Brandy get. Yeah. That's pretty neat. Also, Iris, character in Final Fantasy XV.
Now's our chance. Your Grace?
Your Grace. I'm fine.
He does, Leon. You are correct. That's a really cool catch. Oh, oh, oh.
Clive?
Clive, my boy. Mm-hmm. He does not like carrots.
It's nothing. Let's go.
These are really good scenes, conveying story and character. Ah, that's a good lore reason, Leon. Hey, listen, some things never die. Like a phoenix. And a hatred and disdain for carrots.
Where are you?
Well, we didn't know where to find Kupka before. We do now.
The Rawless said themselves. Their guest is in the...
What's going on over here?
Ah, they've closed the road. And it's the only way from here to the Fang. It would seem Lord Kupka is not accepting visitors at present.
We have to get through that gate.
Not by force, I trust. We've attracted quite enough unwanted attention already.
By guile, then. Perhaps the Desert Hare can offer us her aid.
Rosina Dalamil, woman of mystery. But how will we find her? We know naught of her but her name.
I don't remember a lot about the desert,
Sid's other
to be honest.
have all been people of
I remember some of the side quests.
The wealthiest and most successful members of their communities. I'll wager this Rosina Dalamil is the same.
Yeah.
That would certainly help to narrow the search. We need only inquire as to who is in charge of the town.
And that's exactly what I mean to do.
Rosina.
Wait, incense! What
Yep.
candles?
Talk to the townspeople. Oh, here's one. Hello.
Anything I can help you with, traveler?
I blocked this part of the game from my memory. I kind of do. The desert is not my favorite part of this game.
We represent one of the oldest and greatest trading houses of Port Isolde. We're seeking to expand our business in the region and would very much like to make the acquaintance of Dalamil's leading entrepreneurs. If only we knew where to find them.
It drags a little bit, right? Like,
Well, we're best known
it's
for
fine,
our
especially when you do all the
markets
side
and
quests.
our
It just goes
cities.
on and on and on and on.
I suppose
The
you
pacing
could do worse than
gets a
start
little
your
wonky
search at
here.
one of those.
Thank you. You've been
The Velcroy is painfully dull. Not horribly, but yeah.
Rosina Dalamil, would you?
No, I can't say I do.
Well, thank you all the same.
Yeah, I think it's just like the desert aesthetic. I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't like
What do you want?
grab me.
Can't you see I'm busy?
I won't keep you long. I'm looking for someone. A woman by the name of Rosina Dalamil. Do you know her?
Never heard of her. Is that all?
The desert part in Final Fantasy V, yeah, wasn't that
If I wanted to find the richest trader
maze of a desert and pyramid
would you recommend that
a pain?
Well, that's easy. The Briar's Kiss. Went
Now
far
it's
to
coming
find a
back
smithy
to
this
you,
side
yeah.
of the strait. The owner's only a young sprig.
Bucklad
But
is
he's got all the
your
wild
actual least favorite segment.
Briar's Kiss, you say?
All right, all right.
Thank you.
It picks back up though. I mean, the end of the desert part is awesome, awesome. Like one of the best parts in the whole game.
Influential sort.
But
influence comes with age and experience. Believe you me.
But one thing that really did make it really fun for me the first time was I would like come to the water and I would like have a photo shoot with Torgal and like we would look at the fish down there. Also, can I just like get on a soapbox for a second? We have fish here in this game, right here. We have fish right there. Beautiful rendered fish. We have a guy here who's the riverboat captain. He's like a fisherman. Okay? And we can't fish. Like, that would have been an okay thing to add into this game. You know, it would have not broken the tension of the world or the seriousness of the game. Like, let the boys fish. Final Fantasy 15. Greatest of all time. GOAT.
Can I help you?
Yes.
Just you wait till we get to our 15 streams. Just you wait. Y'all are going to be cheering on Prince of Lucis, King of Fishing. You're going to be like,
Then you should ask
Professor Noctis, can we stop with the awesome lectures and go fishing? I'll be like, yeah, we can.
He's in with all the old merchant families. Try the baths. That's where you'll usually find him.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you kindly. I love
Well,
Lord Byron.
it sounds like we have our man.
Perhaps.
One semester turns into two. Not enough resources. But see, that's it. Pasavla, they have beautiful fish renderings in animations already. Like, I mean, just make it wiggle a little bit. Like, we could do it. I don't know. You might play Tales of Arise. They've got a pretty good fishing minigame in that game.
Are you further?
I am. Can I help you, travelers?
I hope so. You've lived here for some time, is that correct? Do you know Rosina Dalamil? We believe she may be a trader of some renown.
And what business do you have with the desert hare?
She was a close friend of mine. I was hoping she might be able to help me.
Very well.
Kuruai, yes, that's what I'm saying. Use the Eikon abilities, go fishing with it. It's like, what is that? Catfish? What's it called when you go like, is it catfish fishing? Noodling? Is that it? Where you put your hand down in the hole and like it bites it and you bring it on out? This isn't an abuse of power at all.
Do you think we can trust him?
I set you before you life and death in fishing. So choose life and fishing that you may live. Deuteronomy chapter 30.
Needed to a silk
Wade paraphrase.
fragrant herbs and
We're going the wrong way.
from the breadth.
Teach a man to fish.
So you're the ones who've been sniffing
He'll never finish the main quest.
I beg your pardon?
That's what I always say.
Don't play the fool. Stick your nose in our business and you're likely to lose it.
No one makes me lose my nose. Oh, it's over for you now. You've really upset him. They're not dead? Oh, more enemies. Lots of things happening here. That's good. Teach a man to phoenix. If you teach a man to jingle, he will jingle for a day. If you give a man a jingle, he will jingle for a day. But if you teach a man to jingle, he will jingle all the way. Do you know that? Have you seen the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called Jingle All the Way? I don't know where that phrase come from. I think it came from like a Jimmy Fallon show or something like that. If you give a man a jingle, he will jingle for a day. But if you teach a man to jingle, he will jingle all the way. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're going off the rails, y'all. This is
him or her.
This is the most random stream I've ever done.
Him.
Because we don't have a lot of lecture stuff going on
He wanted
tonight.
us to test you.
Though one could hardly call that a test.
Lord Furder?
Imagine trying to intimidate some dude and he barrages you with the elements. Let me tell you.
Your skill with the blade is rare indeed, my lord. A fitting talent for an outlaw.
You know who I am. So what now? Call in the Men of the Rock and collect the bounty?
That isn't my decision to make.
I wish that if somebody tried to intimidate me, I could bring upon them the power of the gods.
To make his acquaintance.
I mean, I guess you
Yes,
could call that love. The power of love.
To the Lock of Leisure, then.
to the Lock of Leisure.
I found out the other day that not only have I been in an actual fight before, but I found out the other night that I won it. I was a little kid, but yeah. It was my birthday the other night, and we were sharing stories, and holy smokes. Some of the memories that my family had of me, I was like, are you sure?
Forge, the Briar's Kiss.
So it was the
young sprig
after all.
I love Lord Byron.
So
His
much for Rosina Delamil's
delayed gratification. I don't know. Like, I thought I had been bullied for years by this guy, but it turns out that I may have been the aggressor.
After all, it must have been years since Sid last saw her. Sorry.
New Testament God, the power of incredible violence. Old Testament God.
Is.
Oh, Karuai, you're gonna love our Final Fantasy 15 streams. You're gonna love them.
Respect.
Better than finding out you lost the fight as a kid. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird story. It's an insane story. I don't know if I want to put it on video.
Hugo, Lord
I mean, I don't come off bad at it, but it's just a bonkers story. Also, I was 5.
My boys tell me you're in need of assistance. Sid the Second.
Rosina Delamil?
I won't waste your time. I need passage through the south gate.
Tell me, what do you think is a merchant's most important commodity? Why, trust. Everyone knows that. Without it, you have nothing.
So what can I fetch you?
Is exactly what you have. And so, for you, I, too, have nothing.
Well, listen.
I'm not in the business of helping every lost puppy that wanders in off the street. I'm a busy man, as you can see.
Let's leave this mummer to his farce.
Let's leave this mummer.
Find someone else to help you on your way. Just be sure to tell them you're not the 2 travelers from the inn the guards are looking for. Don't want them jumping to conclusions, do we?
Why, you...
So, what do we need to do to earn your trust?
Well, glad you asked. I have some quests.
I like this one. Willing to do whatever it takes to get what he wants.
You're right.
Men like you.
He does.
Have a special place in my heart. Why, you ask? Because they get me what I want. Always.
I like this guy. I mean, he's opportunistic. He's an entrepreneur, businessman. I respect it.
Listen to this swaggering scruff.
Swaggering scruff or not,
hear him out.
he has power.
It's only natural that an
and
ally of
influence.
Sid's would seek assurances of strangers. Assuming he is an ally, of course. 5 years ago, he would have still been a boy.
A
Yes,
boy.
even then I had more good sense than a man, 5 times my age? But enough of the pleasantry.
5 times?
We were speaking of what I want. I want you to put an end to the trouble in Dalamil. Return to me when you have done so, and you shall have my aid. Until then, I bid you good day.
Good day.
What trouble? If you're going to give us orders, be clear about them, damn you.
Manners, Greybeard. One catches more damselflies with honey than with vinegar.
What did you call me?
My apologies.
Greybeard.
A word of advice in recompense. Follow the crystals. Oh, but that was 3. Oh, I'm making this too easy for you.
Listen, just tell me where to go. I really just want to get to Kupka.
Easy. Solving his little riddle should be like dealing with him.
Child's play.
Let us divide our forces, Clive. I'd rather not drag this parlor game on any longer than we need to.
All right. Good luck, Uncle.
Wah, 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 wah. Okay.
I thought we were the
Hey,
only ones causing
Torgal.
trouble in Dalaman.
Welcome. I thought we left him outside. Okay. Hello.
Do you have a moment?
See, this is a lot of like running around back and forth sort of stuff.
Dalamil seems to be thriving compared to the other villages I came through on the way.
It's world building, and I appreciate that.
Well, we're a stone's throw from Drake's Fang for one. The soldiers guarding the Mother Crystal and the shipments need a place to spend their hard-earned gil.
Mm.
The men of the Rock throw their money about like there's no tomorrow.
Is that so? Well, thank you. Don't let me keep you from your work any longer.
Okay, let's kill some things. Maybe. Oh no, this guy. Hello.
Excuse me. Is it true there's been trouble with crystals of late?
You've heard.
There's always trouble with crystals.
I've heard rumors.
Damn thieves. Pilfering the crystals that were meant to fill our cups and light our stoves. Us common folk have hardly had a shard to share between us these last few moons. And it isn't as if we can buy them on the black market either. Whoever's taking them, they aren't sharing.
Hmm. Okay. Where is... Oh, one more townsperson. Okay. Oh, what is this? For the best drop in Dalamel, visit the final sting.
Take a sniff, good sir. Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Fresh bread. Look at that pretty water.
What can I do for you, soldier? Need that sword polishing?
I'm not a soldier.
Ugh, then be off with you. I serve the men of the Rock and the men of the Rock only.
You have...
An agreement?
An agreement with them?
Don't be stupid. I just know which side my bread is buttered. I don't want to be stuck under some pauper when they come knocking. With pockets deeper than Zemeckis and an urge to empty them. No, just leave, will you? Before you scare them off.
They are pleasant.
I think I'm starting to get an idea of what's been going on.
Sheer delights.
I wonder if Uncle Byron's learned anything of use. He'll probably be back at the inn by now.
Oh, Uncle Byron.
It's you, the one who broke all our furniture. What do you want? Haven't you caused enough trouble already?
Didn't Uncle Byron give you a lot of money for that?
Have you seen him?
The gentleman who was with you? Yes, he's upstairs, but...
Thank you. I'll go and fetch him.
Good thinking. Oh, Byron. Oh.
Huh?
Polish that sword, my sir.
Will this suffice as a deposit?
Yeah, those...
That sense.
Yeah.
That's a black pearl.
It's hard to get tables in the desert, you know?
In my collection that I would be only too happy to part with, should you give me reason to do so.
All right. I'm sure that we can come to an agreement, but not here.
Maybe over here.
What are you doing, Uncle?
We are paying everybody off, because that is the Lord Byron way. Hello, children. Boing.
Care to explain why you're giving gifts to Kupka's men?
Bait, my boy. One cannot catch one's prey without it. And I do believe I've snagged us quite the quarry. I started by asking around the markets as to where I might purchase crystals.
The Lord's way,
I
Lord
had no luck,
Byron.
of course. It's forbidden to trade in such things. But my uncharacteristic indiscretion just happened to attract the attention of those uniformed ruffians.
Ruffians.
They took me aside and said they could procure the crystal I sought
if I proved I could pay for it.
So the pearl was your proof?
I thought they'd asked for more. A second-rate specimen like that would only fetch 500,000 or so. A small price to pay for admittance to the underworld. But enough about my little act of subterfuge. What did you discover?
I discovered everybody's got problems.
The supply of crystals has dried up of late. And some people seem to think they're being stolen. Meanwhile, members of Kupka's private guard...
He's a good guy. He's so rich.
All over town. I'll wager those soldiers you've been talking to have been siphoning off crystals meant for elsewhere.
And for Byron, that's always his solution, right? He doesn't have the power of the gods, but he has the power of the money. And that, in some ways, that's kind of an interesting point. It allows him to act in the way of a god's power by utilizing the money to emulate it. He has no powers. He's not dominant. He's not a bearer. But instead, he uses money in the same way. Kind of interesting.
Far from prying eyes.
The perfect place for a spot of
Could be
double
worse.
dealing.
Byron is Batman.
I can count on your support.
That's
if
fair.
things turn sour.
Of course.
Of course.
What was all that crashing and banging about before?
It would make a fine gift.
Well, I think that's also one of the things that's kind of interesting here about for those without the power of the gods or bearers and all that kind of stuff. What can they use to gain power? What can they use to have that way? Crap, where am I going? Way over there? Oh my gosh, I'm way in the wrong end. Isn't that how Donald Trump behaves? Not exclusively him. But if you got enough money, it covers over a ton of indiscretions, right? Oftentimes people with a heinous amount of wealth feel like their money is going to talk louder than their talent and their abilities. You can buy influence, for example. I think that's part of the way that we see a lot of people operate. Money talks. And, I mean, if it's true that everybody has a price, then to some degree, they're right. I like looking at the footprints behind me. Isn't that neat? Maybe I'm just easily amused. Okay, time to Chocobo Drift in the desert. See if we can confuse Torgal.
All right.
Big jump. Wee. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. All right, to me, Torgal.
I'll take it from here.
I'm sure you will. And this is a great example, right? This scene here. His negotiating tactics, his acts of diplomacy and money. And yet...
I was beginning to think you weren't coming, my lord. You've brought your contribution?
All the silver and stones I could scrape together at such short notice?
You brought the whole 500 talents.
That was the price we agreed upon, yes? If you've no objections, I'd like to see the crystal.
I'd like to see the
Of
baby.
course. Right this way, my lord.
I'd like to see the baby.
Not bad at all.
Not
You weren't
bad.
lying about the clarity. But what of security? If I were to be stopped on the road, what guarantee have I that it wouldn't be seized as property of the Republic?
Because these crystals are no longer the property of the Republic. You're not buying from us. You're buying from them.
And we have no more jurisdiction here than you, my lord. But we have ships, and will gladly deliver to a port of your choosing, now that our price has been met.
Royalists, eh? What brings you here?
Why, to collect their share of Drake's Fang's blessing, of course. Our nations are allies, and so they are entitled to a portion of the Mother Crystal's bounty. And being such good friends, we elected to increase that portion and share the benefits. And now that these crystals are officially property of the Kingdom of Waloed, we are duty-bound not to interfere, no matter where they might happen to end up next.
Did you get all that? They're in cahoots!
They're in cahoots!
So it would seem.
Time to kill.
My lord, what is the meaning of this?
Double-crossing dogs.
You've been had.
They're not here to do business. Kill them. Kill them both!
Many have tried, my friend. Ansem's Wise, what's up, what's up? How you doing? Perfect time to release an untamed giant cactuar? Wouldn't that be nice?
I'm just getting warmed up.
I'm just getting warmed up. The big sigh. Clive has had enough of Byron in this quest. That's true. We just want to kill Kupka. That's it. Byron, you doing okay over here? New enemies. Odin. I've had enough of this questing with Byron. I'm ready to get on with it. Again, like, I love this game so much. So, like, any critique I say, just understand it comes from a place of I absolutely love this game. At the same time, there are just a few things that I'm like, that was an interesting pacing decision, right? And I feel like the desert could have been a little different.
You're finished.
You're finished. Take that. Good news, everyone. We haven't used our potions, which means we're still at max potion. Totally agree. Critiquing art that we enjoy is fine, but I have pretty much nothing but nitpicks. That's where I am. Like, a few nitpicks, right? I feel like RPGs are meant to be grindy. Yeah, I don't mind grindy, except in Final Fantasy V. But this, to me, is just like a little bit of like a, okay, let's kind of get on with the story, you know? Because, like, we're after Titan. Let's go for it.
The battle scene was particularly thrilling.
But I also understand the world building in the desert area. I get that.
Audience, but
Prav, I hope they bring an update with more unique hunts. Oh man, the hunts were some of the best parts of this whole game. I love anytime that the battle system is stretched. Gosh, that's so fun. Because the battle system's awesome. I love it. Would be awesome to fight Gilgamesh. Big agree. Gilgamesh would be fun. You see the Gilgamesh teaser in FF7 Rebirth?
The trouble you spoke of. The men of the rock taking crystals meant for the common folk and conspiring with the royalists. Well, now it's over.
Indeed it is. The people of Dalamil had scarcely any means of redress against Kupka's men, let alone a foreign army.
Is there any boss harder than Svalbard? You know what? Like, I loved that fight. That was like my favorite fight in the whole game.
Well, we'd better get these crystals back.
I'm not sure.
You won't mind waiting.
Oh yeah, Prav. Yeah, it was during the Tokyo Game Show like gameplay demo. There was yeah, they were playing King or Queen's Gambit, which is the card game, and there was a teaser for
Clive.
Teaser for what looked like Gilgamesh. So not confirmed, but it looked like Gilgamesh, and it was like in an area that looked kind of like Wutai or Wutayan.
Well, Clive.
Pretty neat. I want more Eikon fights and harder. Yeah. Oh man, those Eikon fights were so cool.
Passage through the south gate, was it not?
Including the one that we are desperately trying to get to tonight.
Many of the guards have already been redeployed to deal with the issue of their missing comrades.
Behemoth King, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. I think that I'm with
should you attempt to pass through.
Who said it? Prav.
And please allow me to cover your costs. You still have the
an image of Gilgamesh. Yeah, it was an animated graphic, and it looked like just the side of his helmet. It didn't like zoom in on who it was or anything. But it's like, oh.
Greybeard. It is Lord Byron Rosfield. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much.
Greybeard.
Here, wear this.
That'd be awesome. I would love a I'd like a fight with Rama, to be honest, because we didn't get that in the game, right? Maybe even a fight with Shiva. That'd be cool.
Thank you, Lubor.
Thank you, Lubor.
Please, feel free to send one of my Stoluses back to your people. Tell them that Rosina Dalamil is back in bed with Sid.
Off you go, Stolas. The Phoenix Challenge on Final Fantasy mode. I haven't done that one. So I'm playing Final Fantasy mode right now on New Game Plus, but I have not done those challenges.
I'm trusting you, Sid. Or should I say, Clive?
Lubor. We're using our fake names.
Not to let me down. I have a reputation to uphold.
All right, Prav. You bet. We'll see you later. Have a great weekend. Take care. All right, onward to Titan. I think we can do it.
Well then, I wish you a safe journey south.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure.
And also mine.
Come on, Uncle. Let's go.
Whoosh. Don't remind me of my unfinished Chronolith Trials. I love the Chronolith Trials in regular game, but I haven't tried them in New Game Plus. You got this, Prof. They were some of the funnest challenges in the game. I really, really liked them. Not that way.
Well, is it true what I'm hearing?
The Men of the Rock.
Yes, they're quite sort of.
Fresh bread, warm from the oven.
Going to fight Titan. They heard your soul. Do you have to do the Final Fantasy mode or hard mode to get the platinum for Chronolith Trials? Because I beat all of them in regular mode, but...
Ah, I'm not too late.
Yeah, we just left you, buddy.
A question that I
just normal? Okay,
ask
awesome.
Earlier. Where is it that you're bound?
To Drake's Fang.
Yeah.
To finish.
I'm not even going to try until I hit level 100. And right now I'm like level 62,
then
so...
allow me to share a secret. Drake's Fang is currently
I also haven't done
with royalists.
any side quests.
Talmeki and Walud are allies, and as you have seen, their soldiers work hand in glove. But no nation has ever before allowed a foreign army to make a barracks of its holiest of holies.
Not by choice, at least.
And there's more. A man on the inside of the Fang has failed to report for several days. I fear there may be more trouble lying in wait for you on the road ahead.
Isn't there always?
If you're determined to beard the lion's den, then promise me one thing. That you will enter via the mines, where the guard is lightest.
Okay.
I've lost one Cid already. If I lose another, people will start to think me careless.
I don't plan on dying. Not before Kupka does, anyway.
Well, so long as you have a plan.
Ha. I do like Lubor. He's a nice character. As long as you have a plan. Okay, let's do this.
Drake's Fang should be just beyond these springs.
Is it? Yeah.
Shall we press on?
We shall.
Come on, girl. The gate's open now. We can press on.
Come on, girl. The gate's open. Hey, now here's a character that's kind of nice, kind of neat. He's very talkative, and that's his only problem, but I do like this traveling merchant.
How do? Trader, are you? Seeking your fortune down in the golden sands of Dalamil? From mercantile stock myself, as it happens. You'd never guess. I was born just down the road in
This guy has no side quest, but it kind of pays off. Or like his storyline pays off later on, which I think is cool.
Reckon I might have found it too. You've heard about the famous healing waters they got round these parts?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking if I can find a little pool of my own, dress it up a bit, lay on drinks,
Well, Lady of the Rings.
and whatnot.
Hold on, because like his quest is awesome, and it's not even a real quest.
Soothing your aches and pains with a grape in your gob and a glass in your hand. There's nothing people wouldn't pay. I do.
I love that he's just like seeking his fortune, right? Oh yes, a random tiny side arc. I wonder if there was more planned at some point. It's so tiny and so subtle, but it's such a cool payoff in Ash. Like no fanfare, nothing. It's just really, really cool. We'll get to it. I messed up on my first playthrough because I didn't do any of the side quests, but I did them on FF mode, so in order to get the platinum, I had to beat the trials on FF mode or finish all the quests in easy mode. Oh my goodness. Boy, that's frustrating. So I did all the side quests in regular mode, and I did all the chronolith trials in regular mode. So here I'm doing like what's necessary in order to get the platinum. Because I'm also doing these lecture streams. So, though tonight's been kind of light on the lecture. There it is. I saw Ragnarok in normal mode for some mind-boggling reason, so you couldn't get Gadamarung until FF mode. Oh no, that stinks.
Kupka will be hiding inside.
Kupka.
Along with goodness knows how many guards, all on highest alert. You'll need to keep your wits about you if you're to reach him. So be careful.
I will.
Uncle.
Before you go, Clive, allow me to apologize. After what befell at Phoenix Gate and the crisis that followed in its wake, I fled. I retreated to my counting house and danced attendance upon the vicereine in the hope it would bring me favor. I betrayed my nation to save my skin, like the coward I am. And I'm sorry.
Uncle, please.
Uncle.
It's not too late, Clive. Rosaria is yours by right, and there are those that would help you to take it back. Had I the courage of my brother, I might already have done so. But that ship has sailed. You, however...
No. Forgive me, but I cannot. I fight to build a new world now. A better world. Where men can live and die on their own terms. I was raised in a nation that strove to improve the plight of bearers. Only later did I realize that spark of freedom did not arise by chance, but was kindled by my father. You would see me follow in his footsteps. And that is exactly what I mean to do. Not by ruling Rosaria, but by extending his ideals to the whole of the twins.
Good speech.
Though every soul in the realm may judge my actions heresy, I am certain my cause is just.
You really are just like him, you know? Thank you, Clive, for coming back to me. I am proud to call you nephew. Well then, this is where we must part ways. Wish me luck in convincing my Canvarian friend to share his considerable talents. I mean to plunder his coffers and prove myself worthy of a place in your merry band.
In your merry band. What a way with words, this guy.
My boy.
Till then, my boy.
Till then, go safely, Uncle.
And you, nephew. We have much to catch up on, you and I. I shall expect you to regale me with the tales of all your adventures when next we meet.
Well, you just sit tight and watch.
You can regale me too, Torgal.
Little magic dog. All right. Goodbye, Byron.
I'm coming for you, Kupka.
Writing that line of yeah, I think you're right, some dude. Like it really is. They allow him to toe that line really, really well. So we're at the Jaw, and we are about to head to Drake's Fang. Before we get into Drake's Fang, just a couple of things to remember. So hey, if you are new to the lecture stream setup, one of the things that we do is as we're playing through the game, we stop, we pause, we have a brief mini lecture, and then we play through the game. And one of the things that we've been doing throughout this entire game, just as a quick reminder, is we are looking at the icons and the dominants. We're talking about this idea that these icons and dominants all convey some aspect or attribute of the larger image of the divine, image of God. A lot of religions, a lot of mythologies talk about human beings being created in the image of God. This is particularly true in the Jewish and the Christian stories, mythos. It's also true in a lot of ancient Near Eastern cultures, and there are traces of it even in Eastern cultures as well. So this idea that the icons and the dominants are conveying some aspect or attribute of the divine image. We've talked about how Sid/Rama was this attribute of provision, among other things. We've talked about how Ifrit, in a lot of ways, represents wrath, and that's continuing to evolve. We'll have further conversations on that. We've also talked about how Garuda is this aspect of control, about, even little kids in Bible school and stuff like that sing, he's got the whole world in his hands. Garuda is this idea of control and having that sense of, not sovereignty necessarily, but overseer, supervision, and control for the world. We've also talked about how Titan has this element of power to him, and that's certainly embodied by his muscles and the size of him, but also this hunger for power. He wants to be known as King Kupka. He wants to be known as the guy that is in charge, king of the world, right? And so, but what Clive just said is really, really important. A couple of streams ago, we started talking about how in Deuteronomy chapter 30 in the Bible, there is a phrase that's said by Moses. It says, "So I set before you life and prosperity, and death and destruction. Life and prosperity, and death and destruction. And then it says, so choose life that you may live. It's interesting to me that Clive here says, I want to build a new world where people can live and die on their own terms. Sid before him had said that he wanted to build a place, a world where people could die, bearers could die on their own terms. It's as though he had just accepted the idea that that death was inevitable. And so he was providing a place for people to die on their own terms rather than on the terms of others. But Clive is saying, no, we can live and die on our own terms, and that's what we're fighting for. That's what we're going for here. I love that, right? I love it for a lot of reasons, but I love it specifically because the attributes themselves of wrath or provision or control or power, these are not the ends, but they are the means. They are the means toward life or death and destruction. And the catalyst for those things, the direction point toward life or death, is the will of the one who wields the power of that God. So with Titan / Hugo, we have someone who is bent on death and destruction. And power in the hands of someone who is bent toward death and destruction is going to wreak death and destruction. So with Clive, we're asking the question, someone who is oriented toward life, prosperity, people living and dying on their own terms, what could that look like? Right? So these divine attributes, they are not necessarily morally good or bad, but they have the capability for both. I mentioned in our last stream a quote from Voltaire, from Mark Twain, from many others. It's a very popular quote that's been riffed on a lot, but it says, in God's infinite wisdom, God created man in his image, and then man returned the favor. I love that. And it's rung true in my study of religion, religious studies throughout the years. People that are loving associate God to be loving. People that are wrathful attribute to God the idea of wrath. God loves the people that you love. God hates the people that you hate. And it becomes almost an idolatrous statement. And this is true not just in Christian and Jewish religion, but it's true in any religion, including mythology like Greco-Roman mythology. What I love about this is that it talks about the divine in attribute terms. And it takes this idea of the human will as channeling those divine attributes into manifestations in the world. So what happens when Clive absorbs all of these stories? I think that's a really interesting piece. Prof, will you do a summary with just my analysis on the game without the gameplay parts at some time later? Loving your analysis on the themes of this game. I think that I will, toward the end of all of these streams. One of the things that I'm doing, just so you know, and there's been some invitations to the Discord. I think there was one just right up there ahead. We continue some of these conversations, and I read over a lot of that stuff, even though I may not always comment on there. I'll read over them, and I'm trying to compile as much information as possible. That's why I consider these lecture streams to be a collaborative process. You know, we're all learning together, we're talking, sharing ideas, and sometimes the ideas that you have lead us down tangents that I absolutely love. I love the collaborative teaching classroom learning process. So I'm not creating content that's definitive right now. Instead, I'm collecting and doing a literature review, and eventually, I'm going to come up with a deep dive analysis. I envision a series of videos and maybe even a book one day that focuses in the little part the myth and the mythos of each of the gods and their dominance, but more importantly, the logos, the practicality of it. What do you do with this? If you're a religious person, if you're not a religious person, what do you do with all this stuff? My colleague and friend, M.J. Gallagher, who wrote Norse myths that inspired Final Fantasy VII and the more recent Greek myths that inspired Final Fantasy VII, is working on a book called Mythos, which is about Final Fantasy XVI and the stories that have influenced it. And I love that take of it. My take is, more one of practice, one of practicality. And it's one that says, so in light of these stories, what is the message that is being given to us from the story of Garuda? And so when I make some content, it's going to likely look like that. And you're hearing some of the seeds of what that content is going to look like. So, but thank you for that. If you want to help support the stream and all that kind of stuff, make sure you get on to the Discord and share your thoughts, what's vibing with you, what resonates, and questions you've got, because it only makes this project better. So there we go. With that, let's go kill Koopa. Drake's Fang. 100% potions, lady. I checked.
Fuck! Why do they start?
Well, your hands got cut off.
Got a rat done to me.
Temper.
Out of my sight, witch!
He is so pleasant.
I'll kill you, Rossfield! I'll rip out your heart! I'll tear you limb from limb!
Not without hands.
Hugo, the table shan't hurt you any longer.
He sought to humiliate me. Me! If you hadn't interfered, he would be dead.
You truly believe you would have triumphed had the battle continued?
Titan would have ground him into dust.
And how would he have done that without his head?
Shut up!
You weren't strong enough, and you call yourself a dominant. Or rather, you did.
You mock me, Harbert.
My hands.
Do you see, Hugo? You are weak.
You're so weak.
Fuck!
But so long as that fire burns within you, there is still hope. There may yet be a way for you to take your revenge.
Tell me, what must I do? Please, I'll do anything. Just tell me.
The heart.
The heart. The heart of stone.
What of it?
A mother crystal's heart is the most concentrated source of ether in all creation. Perhaps you could take advantage of that. Of course, the crystal would not yield her blessing to any ordinary man. But then, you are no ordinary man, are you, Hugo? Clive Rossfield stole your power, but others have suffered a similar fate, and still managed to find the strength to conjure their Eikon. Like Benedicta Harmon. She too drank of the ether and gained a power beyond human understanding.
She did. Benedicta. Benedict. I'll do it. My love. I'll avenge you.
I love Kupka. He's such a good character. I like him.
Run along now, Hugo. You need only follow the light. Mythos is here.
Mythos.
Very well. It shall be so.
Mythos is here.
You may leave everything to me, Your Majesty.
Oh, jeez. Hey! Thanks for the sub!
Thank you, sir.
What's up? Thank you so much. That was good timing. Right in between cutscenes. Nice. Thank you for the sub. Really appreciate you. Alright. No more sneaking around. Let's do some fighting. I'm ready. Orcs. Ugh. So gross.
Did the royalists bring them from Ash?
All right, let's do this. Actually, I think I kind of want... Bahamut. I think that would be a good idea to bring in Bahamut. It may be a terrible idea too, but we're gonna try it. But I also want the lightning rod. That's it. This looks pretty good. I think we're good here. Okay, let's try it. Okay, time to kill.
Beastmen part of the Waluda army now. How the hell did that happen? They've spotted us.
Ba-da-da-da. Well, that was easier than I thought. I love it. Ah.
Taken over the entire mine.
Taken over the entire mine. No, don't do that. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I may be going in a little overconfident because I have potions for the first time ever. I never have potions.
So much for the men of the rock.
So much for them.
Finest.
Any others? Oh no! Ooh, there's... I was focused on the wrong guy! Not good at all. Oh no! I was getting hurt.
Nice try.
Oh! That was not good. That was not good. I was not really paying attention to that laser. Not a great start for us. Not a great start. It's okay. Oh, ow. Ah, terrible choices. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Oh, again. Ow. Okay, let's just unleash it all. No more playing around. I was trying to be fancy. We're not doing it.
Nice try.
Love that. There we go. This works. Almost there. There we go. That'll do. Just unleash it. There we go. Lots of damage. That was nice. That was nice. Just had to be a little bit smarter. Oh good. Magic dash. What are you? What are you? Okay.
Animals.
Animals.
Should never have left Ash.
Hoo boy. Want to make sure everybody's around me. There we go. Nice. Love it. Dropped him. Oh, more guys. There we go, there we go, there we go. Beautiful. Bahamut! Woo! I love these moves. Odin's moves. They're so cool. So cool. Nicely done. Okay, everybody good? Everybody good? Okay, keep going through the mines. Oh, there's the crystal, or crystals.
Won't be going any further this way.
I suppose not. Push, push, push. Okay, up.
Stairs. This must be the way out.
Or the way in. Wow, that